One more thing that was not explained there, in catfishes, we have to use little higher dosage, maybe 0.8 or 0.7, 0.9 ml per kg body weight. Sometimes if nothing is, fishes are not showing very good maturity or conditions are not that good, then maybe 1 ml per kg body weight you can also go. That depends on which condition, which fish, what is the physiological condition of the fish, that you will have to standardize for your own site. Then another very important, very popular inducing agent in India is overtide. Overtide, again, the composition is same, the basic concept is same, in fact, that they use GnRH analog and any of the dopamine antagonist. Here you can use domperidone, you can use pymoside. There are many dopamine antagonists that you can use. That depends on your preparation, that what you are doing. This is an Indian product. This was launched by Hemopharma, and for its efficacy, different trials were conducted by CIFE, Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. And at the time when the trials were being conducted for overtide, I was also part of the trial, working at one of the regional centers of CIFE. I had to study the efficacy of the overtide as well as pituitary gland, compare the results and provide the information. So, overtide has been very successful. It is very successful. If you use the overtide, it gives almost comparable results to overprim. And this is very readily available. You can store it very easily at 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. So, no need to have very better facilities at the farm. Effective even under adverse climatic conditions, because you have to do, it's not always that you are having everything rainy and flooding and other things and you are using overtide, you are getting good results. No, there may be fish may be not be in very good condition or climatic conditions may not be that suitable, but still if you are using overtide, you may get result. Administering a single dose without causing any adverse effect on broodfish. In fact, in Indian major carps, we use only a single dose and we get very good results. Male and female broodfish are injected simultaneously. This is one thing which I did not mention so far, that here when we are using these ready to use injections, ready to use hormonal preparations, then we have to give injection to male and female, both the fishes at the same time, release them in the breeding tank or breeding hapa, and you are comfortable. Now, after quite some time, you will have to check the what is the condition, what is the response of the male and female brooders. So, here what are the recommended doses? Almost similar to that of overprim. The composition is almost similar. In fact, the basic concept, the ingredients that are active ingredients that are used, they are almost same. So, here also 0.4 to 0.5 for katla, 0.2 to 0.4 for rohu, and 0.2 to 0.4 for mrgal. This has been provided by one of the research papers that we have taken. For males, we need little lower dosage, and I told you that katla needs little higher dosage for breeding. So, you will see that even males of katla are being given at higher dose compared to other Indian major carps. So, this is the product overtide which is being shown here. Here you can see that they have, what is the composition? This gonadotropin releasing hormone analog. They have used 20 microgram of 20 milligram of dopamine antagonists, some dopamine antagonists. I am unable to domperidone 10 milligrams and 20 micrograms of GnRH analog. So, they have used this and they have given the chart that what is the dosage for females and males, that is written on their product only. So, you can have an idea. Katla 0.4 to 0.5 for in case of females, 0.2, 0.3 in case of males, Rohu 0.2 to 0.4 females, Mrigal 0.2 to 0.4 females, and likewise Silver Carp 0.4 to 0.5, Grass Carp 0.4 to 0.5, Calbasu 0.2 to 0.3, and you can have your own uh, um, standardization of the dose according to the conditions, as I have already explained. Then not only Overtide, there are other products also now in the market with many other trade names. Here I have also just shown this picture to let you know that we are having many more products. It is not only the trade names which are being shown here, they are the only important one. No, you can have these preparations with different trade names and you can go for that if they are having some GnRH analog or GnRH hormone directly, or some dopamine antagonist. Here also they have used domperidone. So, you can have that, and dosage are almost similar, you can just calculate. Another product is Ovopel. Ovopel is mammalian GnRH analog, and a dopamine receptor antagonist has been used, metoclopramide. So, this was developed in Hungary, and this is available in pelleted form. This is somewhat different from the earlier products that we discussed. Each pellet contains GnRH analog and that metoclopramide in the quantity given here. Each pellet contains superactive gonadotropin releasing hormone, the same thing, and which is having an equal effect of 3 mg of carp pituitary gland. So, that is the potency they claim. It should be stored rather below 25 degree centigrade, 25 degree centigrade. And it should not be refrigerated, but it should be stored at low temperature, but not refrigerated. If you are doing keeping it that way, then you can store it for up to 2 years. Now, how to use it? The weight of broodstock should be measured. Of course, to calculate the dose, you will have to take in any of the product that you are using. The required amount of Ovopel is 1 pellet for 1 kg of brood fish, and 1 pellet is also kept in order to take care of the losses during powdering and dissolving. When fish are ready for spawning, the pellet should be powdered and dissolved in salt solution of 0.65% NaCl solution you can prepare, and then injection can be given. Preliminary trial was conducted in 1999 with the Ovopel, and some encouraging results were reported. Results of the Ovopel which was conducted in 1999. You can see here that Leburohita ovulated spawn, in Siranus myrigala that also spawned, and Clarius batrachus also ovulated. So, I told you that whichever inducing agent you are using, if you are able to manipulate different factors and you can provide some kind of stimulation so that the GnRH is released in the fish body, or gonadotropins are released somehow, then you will get successful result. Following fishes have been successfully propagated with Ovopel. Indian major carps, you can see Katla, Leburohita, Cyprinus carpio, then grass carp, Tinopharyngodon idella, hypophthalmic thysmalotrix, silver carp, Clarius garipinus, then Tinca, Tench, Bream, and many other fishes. They have been induced bred using this product. One pellet contains sufficient amount of active substance to induce one-time ovulation of 1 kg so, 1 tablet they claim that is enough for 1 kg of fish. In male fish, it is enough to use the half amount. So, only half the amount you can take in case of male fish. Now, the last part of this major induced breeding lecture, in fact, I wanted to discuss it at the first, but no problem, we have understood the process. Now, we can discuss that the significance of the induced breeding exercise or induced breeding program. Why induced breeding is needed? why we need to develop induced breeding programs for the candidate species or species which we intend to use in aquaculture. It provides pure spawn and fry of a desirable species for culture. When we are going for culture, that means we have everything planned, that we are going to culture this particular species, say for example, katla katla, we are going to culture katla, or maybe if we are going for polyculture, then katla, rohu and mrgal. So, what we need first, if we are going for culturing katla, rohu and mrigal, then we need to start the aquaculture practice, we need some definite numbers of katla, rohu and mrgal seeds, the young ones, the hatchlings or fry of these katla, rohu and mrgal. Now, suppose we have to keep 4,000 of katla seeds in 1 hectare, then maybe 3,500 of mrgal seeds, and then whatever is left, that is 2,500 of rohu seeds. So, you will be looking for only this exact number, 4,000, 2,500 and 3,500. If you are collecting the fish seeds from the natural environment, then what will happen? That you may not be getting the pure spawn or pure seeds in the form of hatchlings or fry, whatever you are collecting. It is quite possible that you are getting less of katla, more of mrgal or more of rohu, or it may go otherwise also. Ultimately, the ratio which you wanted to stock, that will be disturbed, because from the natural environment where the fishes are breeding, for example, mainly in the deltaic region of the Ganga, then what happens, wherever they are breeding, there are many other fish species which are also breeding. There are many other aquatic animals, they are also breeding, which respond to conditions and breed in the spawning season, in the monsoon season. So, if there are more than one species spawning in the same area, then what will happen? If you will collect the young ones, there are great chances that there will be contamination of other species as well from in the lot which you are collecting for the culture. So, I have seen it practically that when you get fish seed supply from natural environment, then first you do not get desired ratio of the fishes which you have to stock. You are not sure about the purity, whether the katla you are stocking is katla, whether the rohu you are stocking is rohu, or mrgal you are stocking is a pure mrgal strain. So, to get the purity, you need to know about the brooders also. So, if you have taken fish brooders of katla, you are producing fish seeds of katla separately, keeping them separately in some nursery ponds allocated only for katla seeds. If you are induced breeding rohu and keeping the fish seeds of rohu separately in some nursery pond, and for mrgal the same thing, or for any other fish species, then whatever number is required for stocking in your pond, you can go and get from the hatchery. Okay, I need only 4,000 numbers of katla. So, you will get 4,000 of katla and get it stocked, not less, not more. So, you are very sure that what you are stocking, how much food you have to provide to them, and many other things you can calculate based on the exact number. So, that makes your culture very profitable. So, that is one of the things, that purity of spawn, the health of the spawn, the nutritional status of the brooders depend on the nutritional status of the brooders or health of the brooders. If mothers are healthy, then the offsprings will also be healthy. Here also in my earlier lecture, I told you that for brood stock, we need to have separate ponds and manage them separately, providing them nutritionally balanced food, taking care of all water quality parameters and other things, so that we get very healthy brood stock of the desired fish species, so that we can get pure fish seeds, healthy fish seeds from the brooders which we are going to use. So, here we get assurance of supply of pure seeds, whatever we are intending, whichever candidate species we are going to start culture with. Then it comes that timely availability of the fish seeds. First thing is very important, that we have to get pure seeds of whatever fish we are stocking. Sometimes what happen, if you talk to farmers who were getting seeds from natural environment, sometimes they get, in the name of fish seeds, very young, very tiny stages of fish seeds are supplied sometimes. So what happens, you may get even tadpoles supplied. So all of a sudden you are doing everything whatever you can do to manage your pond, to feed them, to take care in terms of water quality and other things, but ultimately you are getting more frogs, no fish, very less of fish. Or sometimes you are looking for Indian major carps, you have stocked Indian major carps and you are getting some other fish, some weed fish, some undesirable fish, maybe some like puntias or species, or some tilapia which you are not intending to culture. So you may not get pure spawn, you may get contamination of different other species. So for that, induced breeding is very important. That is probably one of the most important points why induced breeding has been developed and why it should be standardized for any candidate species which we need to select for aquaculture. Then timely availability. So in natural environment, the spawning process or the breeding process depends a lot on the climatic conditions. If there are there is no monsoon here, we are not getting flooding environment, we are not getting enough rains, maybe you may not get that much number of fish seeds that you need, and there may be many fishes which may not respond to climatic conditions for breeding. So that becomes very problematic. That depends on many of the natural factors. Here you are doing in controlled environment in induced breeding. So you just simulate the conditions which can act as environmental cues for the fish to go for respawning, and use some inducing agent, you will get good fish seeds at the desired time. If you remember, I told you during my lecture on induced breeding that induced breeding ensures, the desired number of seeds at the desired time, in the desired quantity, of the desired species. So all this comes under the significance. Timely availability of fish seeds then fulfills required demand for seeds. Again, the same concept. You are getting a desired number of seeds at desired time in the desired number. It is economical and eliminates the cost of holding potential spawners for a long time. If you are not doing, it's not necessary that if you are doing culture practice, aquaculture practice, then you need to have induced breeding facility also at your farm. It's not necessary. You can visit some hatchery which is carrying out this induced breeding program, and you can collect fish seeds from there, whatever number is required, whichever fish you need, you just get it and start your culture practice. Or if you wish, you can do it on your own. Again, if you are doing it on your own, then it is not very costly. Little bit of expertise you need, little bit of training you need, and it is very easy, very simple technique. It can be learned very easily, and you can go for seed production at your farm also. So that's what we had to discuss in significance of induced breeding, that why induced breeding is needed. And one of the main objectives of aquaculture is to diversify in terms of candidate species, introduce more and more candidate species for culture. Fortunately, now we are having some more species like Pangasius is being cultured. We are having standardized protocols for some of the catfishes. So, whenever we are going to add more species in aquaculture, we need to develop the induced breeding protocol for that particular species. So, that's all in this lecture. Thank you so much.